Hey guys, so today I'm going to take you through how to do the initial review for a blog article. So the first step, as always, is to log into the JMS and find the article that you need to review. Once you're on the article page, just go to the drive and there you can open up the article itself and the marking grid for the article. So blog articles have no set structure, and they're typically like about an area of science that the author finds really interesting and really cool, and kind of like presenting the discoveries being made in that field, or kind of why that field helped to advance, like, I don't know, that specific science or anything along those lines. And so, for example, this blog article is about dark energy and dark matter and explaining that. So you can see that in this article, the author decided to have an introduction and then two sections titled Dark Energy and Dark Matter, and then the conclusion and references section. But this isn't like there's no set structure for the article, so it's really up to the author themselves. And also, when you're reading through it, if you feel like something could be sectioned slightly differently, you can add that in. But we have like no requirements as a journal for what needs to be there to begin with. And so what I'd recommend doing is just making sure, for example, in this case, that you know enough about dark energy and dark matter to kind of pick up anything that you don't quite agree with, or you feel that could be expanded on. So, for example, you can see that one of the comments I made here was that, okay, so how did they discover dark energy? So they say at that point, this has already been corrected by the author, but before it was just written as a surprising discovery. And so then they added in by calculating the speed, etc. So that's kind of along the lines of something that could be expanded. Again, you could have something that doesn't quite make sense to you, or something that you think is wrong, or anything like with grammatical mistakes. Just correct any grammar, spelling errors that there are. And then you can check the references. And once you've kind of checked those and made sure that any figures have a figure title underneath them. So in this case, like figure 3 there, so you can see that. Then you can go to the marking grid and start filling that out. So a lot of the areas of the marking grid don't apply. So for example, the abstract doesn't apply to a blog article, so you can just leave that blank. But readability and style is definitely something you want to fill in. So again, just highlight the area that you think is appropriate. And so you can see that this article scored really highly on that because it was very readable and had good style. Same for graphical presentations. You can fill that out also. Of course, references are really important, and make sure they're in Chicago style. If you're unsure about anything with references, cross-check with the reference guide that we have. And if you're still unsure, please just message your senior editor or anybody else on the team, and they will be more than happy to help you. And then this introduction / background or literature review is something that is applicable to a blog article. It doesn't need to be titled, but it kind of needs to be there within the article, that you need to understand what the background to the whole article is, what the scientific basis is. So do you want an introduction at the start to kind of the article? And again, calculations and results methodology are not applicable. And then your discussion is applicable to a blog article. So there should be some discussion of why, for example, in this case, dark matter and dark energy is so significant. What are we still looking for? Where are the rooms for possible developments in the future? So that should all be there in the article. It doesn't need to be labeled, but it should be present. So fill that in. And then the conclusion also. And once that is done, you can give the score for the blog article. So this article was only out of 50 because obviously you weren't filling in a lot of the sections. And then, so you give your score, and then you can just convert it to out of 100, so you can see where the article is scoring within this kind of like accepted borderline, accepted with accelerated publication range. And then you can go back to the JMS, find the email for the author, and you can email the author either letting them know that the article has been accepted or rejected with the email templates that you can find on the welcome pack. And then all you need to do is wait for the author to get back to you with revisions, check that the revisions are kind of what you wanted, and then you can move it through to the next stage. And if you have any questions about a blog article or any other article that you're reviewing, please ask your senior editor or anybody else on the editorial team or anybody on the senior team. We're all here and are happy to help you with any questions or concerns, no matter how silly they may seem to you. So please get in touch if you're confused or just a bit unsure about something.